This is day 222 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. If you'd like to sponsor an upcoming shir or more of the Arukh HaShulchan, please contact me directly. It'd be very much appreciated. Today we're doing Siman Kuf Tzadik Aleph, Sif Aleph, Kuf Tzadik Zayin, Sif Aleph, Siman Kuf Tzadik Zayin, Sif Aleph, and we are staying in Mirz Hashem in Siman Kuf Tzadik Zayin and going through Sif Vav. So, me and Mitzvah and Zimun Shlosha Asar who want to join together to make a Zimun of 3 or 10. Two people ate together and the third person came. The two of them finished their meal, but they haven't benched, nor watched my Mechonim, and they have not said, let us bench. The Torah says you can still join together with them. Two people ate. A third person came and ate. Before the two other people said, let's bench. You can join with them. According to this opinion, he joins without any conditions. There is brackets here. The Mefarshe brachas b'mzayin b'av ilu maisli udalaya. I think what Shmuel had said, or whoever it was, said, if they would have brought me an additional dish, would I have not eaten? If they, it's even a person who's fully completed their meal, you bring them some delicacy which is close to their heart, would have eaten it. It was close, they would have eaten it. He would have eaten it, but they brought it to him. So therefore, no preconditions necessary. Base, Rambam Parakeh didn't test Kosev Shtaim. She walked into the lane. The Gomus doesn't they finish the meal. Vashlishi Vacha. Third person came and ate. If they can eat with him something, for Afilu Mishar Oichlin, even some other food mitzvah every morning, he joins with them. Akal Shana. Harei tonight. Rambam adds a condition. If they can eat with him. Yosem Mevuz Zeba Smag. The Smag elaborates on this. He said, Oini Daitem. We reckon where they are holding. If they have not eaten so much yet, they would bring them delicacies with dover chaviv and something precious. So they could still eat mitzaref akal, then he can join with them. That's not the case. It's not mitzaref. But Yosef first came about the Bag writes. The pay trade the two people ate bread. The garments to the side, they completed their meal. Another person came. The kaboy is money and wants to bring mazam with them. Chazina, we see ik in the meiselon midi the chavel. If when we bring them something which is precious to them, mean my the achlu for that which they ate. The low achlin, and they would not eat it. Don't start from mine. You can't join them. If they would eat, means start from mine, they would join at Shana. According to here, the brackets, it says, we have to actually see. We have to check it out. If it would have brought them more food, they would eat. Im lav im not. The Bahag, what also comes out, it's going to be something from which they already ate. Now we bring them some new cake from Timbuktu. Shalokadas Rambam, that's not like the Rambam who holds it could be anything. Mr. Bo writes that the third, according to the Bahag, the third person has to be koveh with them. He has to eat something at the same table. But Aloha writes, and only then will they be chayiv in zimun. But without that, it's a rishus. And this is not going like the opinion which this entire sugi. So I rishus know that it's possible to come to a chiyuv if he's koveh with them. Mr. Bo writes that things which cause a person to eat a dessert such as fruits or truffles or mushrooms or sweet birds, which they used to have back then, the gozolos. All those things, according to the Rambam, would be good enough, but not according to the Bahag. Gimel, two people ate together and they finished Bashlishi, and the third person came. Anywhere where if they brought for them something, they would be able to eat from it. In that case, the third person could join with them. And they have to give them to eat. They should start him wanting to join with them. And that's only became before they said Rabbi and Baruch. They said let's bench. And afterwards he came. The third person came afterwards. He can't join with them. And the custom first Rambam he writes explicitly like the Rambam, not like the Torah, that they have to be able to eat something, right? The Rabbi. And that's we hold. Rabbi, below Thomas Tarif Shlishi, the third guy is not always joined together. El B'Tanai is boil, but only in the condition that they would indeed be willing to eat something. Utmihani Shem Meforshim Lo Iro Shem Mechlokim. It's astonishing that the Meforshim not mentioned that the Rishonim argue this. Brings down your footnote in the brackets. Valavush Kasav Misfar the Navshay the toilet B'Tanai. Vush writes as if it's his own chiddush that has to do with the Tanai. Prisha Siegel of the Eno told with Nai V'Choyim Mitzvah. Prisha writes, no matter what, it was after the Tanai he joins together. Floro Shari the Chokim is it's astonishing. This is the Rishonim that argue about it. Bir Locha writes that the gears here should be the Imaislu Mide Matsu. Not Matsei, which we indicate the individual. I didn't translate it that way. And but translate like the Bir Locha does that. That means going if they too would be able to eat from something more. But if one of them already washed or was Mesiach Das of those two, so then the third person really can't join them. They have to both be in a situation where they would eat more. The Bialocha also writes, that's only where there were two and a third person came, but where three people ate and another fourth person came and ate a kazais, even if they had already washed by Machonim, but they said Havel and Nevarech, he still joins with them, but the other Rishonim do not seem to hold that way. Okay, back to Arukh HaShulchan. Rabbi said, they should start about that. What he said, they have to give them to eat. You already explained this, and back there. That which you wrote that they raised said let's bench. He doesn't join because Rabbi Rambam tells my mechonik havla v'nevrach dami akal shano. Rambam right said wash my mechonik is the same as say havla v'nevrach. Uvada my mechonik says Arukh HaShulchan uvada my mechonik madifa me havla v'nevrach. My mechonik is actually superior to havla v'nevrach. The Havlan yesh chok is still the mitzvah. We learned back there that by Havlan people say that it's a suggestion, but other people can still join afterwards. The Mogei Avram, etc. And then learn v'nevrech ain't no about ba'abais lo barech. Besides, havlan v'nevrech only is effective as stated by the ba'abais, not by a guest. My mechonim ain't chil. By mechonim there's no distinction. But just have to see kufayim tests. Omnam kavanas okenu. But this is what he means to say. The havlan v'nevrech is barasham. When you say havlan v'nevrech, it's been explained. Was explained kufayim test. The imrotzel v'arecha mashiochal mutter. If he wants to make a bracha and eat something more, he's allowed to. The loke my machronik, which time nusham. Not if you watch my chronik. So come out kan mishum tziv l'zimun. And so over here, the terms come into join for the zimun. Dino kahavlon v'nivrech klomar shivachotim barech v'lechol. They can still make another bracha and eat. Tzayv l'zimun shlish and join together with the zimun to make a zimun with the third party. Meishur kosav those say the mitzvah lito yadav varachamotzi lechomat. Those say that it's a mitzvah for them to wash, to make another bracha if necessary. And in order to make a zimun together with the third guy who just came. This is everything we're going to run there back. This is astonishing. The karav la'achil gasa. Gasa to make them eat even though they don't want to eat. V'lo shamanu me'olam bishi alal daito. Rasus can never heard such a person actually carrying this out. The Bir Halacha writes that the Balatanya holds that by Havlan Nevarech they also not mitzvah, not just my machronim. Okay. Ches, Amina Bagmara. Lina Sarshim Borgam it's a shame in terms of 10 people, you Borgam shame Tisha Shachlu Dagar, 9 people ate grain. The Chorachal Yarek, 1 person ate vegetables. With Sign Borgam B'Shem, you can join together with them to make the Zimun B'Shem. Duadin Shishasa Kos Yain, and so the tribute drank a cup of wine, the Shia B'Schalachlia. Drinking is included in eating. Yachol Mashchal Mishal, you can say Achshal Chal Mishalo. For Lav Dafki Yain, not just wine. Duadin Shar Mashkin, any other beverage, Levad, mine besides water. Shame is a cheshiv skar which has no limit to the shayach tzir was there's no tziruf by water. If you loti b'aman elabatzir, even if you only dip with them in a brine, mitzaref he joins together with dafka shachal kazayis me'ayarek. That's only if he ate a kazayis and the vegetable mishar machal or other food. The shasa b'revius, so he drank revius miyain from wine and mishar mashkim or mitzir or of the brine. V'chein dafka shlo b'yach bracha achroina. Also, if he didn't make a bracha achroina, zachar bracha achroina, l'shayach should start. If he makes a bracha achroina before he can join together, it's too late. It's not just one person who joined together to make 10. Three people also joined. 3 people ate grain, and 7 people eat grain, and 3 ate vegetables. They joined. But 6 and 4, that's not good enough. 6 grain, 4 vegetable, that's not good enough. Even though the majority ate grain, nevertheless they don't join together. But you need a very obvious rove. The person who's benches has to be one of the people that bread. Some people say water also is good enough. Because drinking is included in eating. And the Ikar Rabbeinu says no, doesn't join. But I complain has to have some significance. If he said if that's the case, perhaps water which has been upgraded, fixed in some way, como seltzer, lemonade, or mine kavasin. I'm not sure what that is. I don't think it means coffee, but I don't remember what it was. But I think coffee is even higher than that. That as long as the water is upgraded a bit, we can join together. A lot of Piskim Shiburia. The Bia Locha says that the Bia Gross Mash you don't need a kazayas, but the mice is very difficult to make against the Shulchan Aruch who says you need a kazayas. The Bia Locha also writes the Gross says you don't need a revius, but also it's difficult to make. The Rabbah brings that rov revius is enough. And perhaps the Rabbah says perhaps that opinion is more acceptable. But the Chatchila is definitely good that you should be mahader, that the person who joins should drink revius. But you have it, perhaps you can make on rov revius. But to join for 3, you specifically need a gazayis, and presumably revius would also be good for 3. Although they only spoke about vegetables, not about beverages. But then also need revius. The Sharatim writes even according to Mechaber, who holds that it's enough. It's enough to say Nevarech. And certainly according to the Ramah, it says you have to say also Birchas Hazon that the Mevarech has to have had Hamotzi. The Mishnah Brura brings down also the opinion about water being mitzaref, and he's not doesn't come to a ruling. Vav hamitzaref tzarech levarech a bracha achroina mashal chalosh. The person joins as the third party. You know, he didn't eat bread, but he's got to make a bracha achroina what he ate or drank. Brachas amos and eil poteres lo brachas b'nei nefashos lo brachas mein shlosha. Even if he listens, the bench does not exempt him from his bracha b'nei nefashos or al michya. The brachas amos and eil poteres lo masha b'sol. So the brachas amos only works when it's within a meal. Even the people who are part of the meal, for things to come after the meal, so can bracha lifnei ma'achrei need a bracha before and after. But certainly osam shlochu klal b'suda those not eating the meal at all. Ain't super magazim the only joint for the zimun. Therefore, in mitzvah for I feel like they mezainas took a bracha b'ifnei after they joined even through a mezainas. They still need a bracha by them on their own. I'm thinking that she's saying mevarach because Amazon. I have to wait till the mevarach finishes. The first birchas hazon, the birchas zima, the first, which for our case is for the end of the first bracha. Kvishes by B'sin Reish Yud, B'sin Reish, but bracha then they make the bracha afterwards. Yesh so the yain it's one of the birchas hazon padish in the zaydik kalechem. I also want to say based on the Gemara that wine and dates, yates they can be yates the bracha through birchas hazon. Tzarchim b'zeh. Arukh HaShulchan's not sure about that, but until the after Mishnah says, but the evidence would work. But the chatchila still should make your own bracha. But since it's B'yavad, they could be Yotze, they should preferably have in mind not to be Yotze with Birchas HaMazon. I think Stam Das today is not be Yotze with Birchas HaMazon if you had wine or dates. Zayin, Arifa Rama Palkasu, the Dafkal is Soy Mitzaref if he'll be Eric. Avul Shloisha Ein Mitzaref Rak Misha Acha Pas Dafka. Unlike what we saw till now, they say that to join to 10 vegetables enough, but for 3 you need pas. In this respect, 3 is more severe than 10. The Basar came because Zimun Yesh Machle passed by 10, since the primary Zimun, and it's 7 of them ate bread. V'zel Raklo Zimun Yisrael, okay, this only that Elokeinu, came the Varma, since it's something, Shechina Shari, the Shechina is the vowels, in the place, the Chol Malkeinu could say Elokeinu. But the primary zimun of 3 is specifically people of bread. As it says, 3 people ate, Klomar Besuda. 3 people ate means a Suda, ain't Suda Bapas. It's got to be bread. How Yerushalmi is explicitly that it's a case of 3, 2 ate grain, 1 vegetable them starve. It seems quite clear there. The Zeldas Yochid in the interpretation of one person. Chachamim disagree. Nebaram cousin of Forsh Kazai pas. The Rambam writes explicitly Kazai is a bread. But briefly, it's a Kazai dog. The Rib says a Kazai of grain. Some people say the lapdafka pas. It's not just bread. I feel brichas mezoynes sagi. Even mezoynes suffices the dog on because it's grain. It's from the kobo. But that's a rush Rabbeinu Yoni the Gambieric sagi. But other Rishonim hold the vegetables enough. Came to the last Torah, it's Tarif Koshken Shlosha. Since he joins for 10, so he'll join for 3. Now it's going to get to what I just said before about drinking, whether drinking joins. That you need to have dafka bread. But since he's inclined to the Rambam, this is why he writes as follows. 2 people ate, and a third person came, Kazayas pas, they can compel him to eat a kazayas of bread. Mutab, that's best. The man wrote, so if he doesn't want to, avoid the whole question. Don't give him the drink, don't give him another food. But they gave him the drink, or they gave him another type of food. Even though they doesn't eat bread, wants to put themselves into that situation. And he reneged on what he wrote in the Beis Yosef because Maram Rudenberg did rely on vegetables and beverages as well. The Kohen write that we even rely on the third party eating vegetables or drinking beverages. The Ikar Dina the Ikar Dina is like the Rosh says that also joins together. Mr. Bura writes that we are noy ken chatchila if that fellow does not consent to eat bread, so you rely on the vegetables or the beverages.